So, welcome to another video. Now, I want to emphasize this. The advice or the guidance that I'm going to be talking about in this video, it can be it might not apply to everyone's life, or lives I should say, but that's because I've had such a different experience, and I live a very privileged life, and I'm very thankful for it. So maybe not everything that I say here you'll be able to apply in your own life, but I want to share to perhaps help you guys, and maybe trying to find your own meaning, trying to find your own purpose, or just really trying to improve. Okay, there's no problem with improving, so let's get into it. Alright, so for the first factor, it is developing yourself through hobbies, academic works, and your relationships, which can be interpersonal, personal, and also social. So with your hobbies, I'll get into it more as the video progresses, but let's just level this down. With the hobbies, it varies from person to person, and you might not stick to one hobby right away. But if you have something that you can do without much struggle, something you genuinely enjoy, something like music, reading, and whatnot, then you stick to it. You progress through that, and that will improve your character a lot. Like me, I of course, you guys know I consider weightlifting as a hobby, but it's also such a big hobby, if you guys will get what I mean. And I've also recently gotten into music. As you can see, I've got a guitar right here, and I've got another guitar up here. It's a classical guitar. But here, I will say this. I mentioned in the beginning how I live a very nice life. I'm able to get the things I want because I live a privileged life. And that is where the other thing I said. Not everyone will be able to do these things. And I understand that, and it's not easy. What I recommend doing is try to find what's the word? Okay, you can find a solution for it, or maybe a replacement, but not necessarily a replacement. More like a solution. Let's say you want to get into music, but music is, if you want to get into it, it's very expensive, and the thing I may recommend you doing is, if you know somebody who has an instrument, maybe you can borrow it. You just have to take really good care of it, or you can do it your own way. It's your life. You're gonna be able to find your own solutions if you put effort into it. So that's with hobbies. Now with academics. Now the academics, it's very important, and in my opinion, I've got a pretty decent view on academics. And I have to admit, I really used to dislike trying to chase high grades. I thought that it really served no purpose. It was like a waste of time or whatnot. But I was still in the range of I was still able to achieve. I was still getting into the list of like students who did good, who got decent grades. But during that time, I wasn't really happy doing so. It was very much a thing where, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to chase this, but I don't really care about it. So in a way, I felt like I was wasting my time. But now I've changed my view on it. I now think that with school, you're definitely not gonna be using everything that they teach you in your future. Like I was thinking earlier, will a lawyer use like physics in their job? I'm not, I'm not fully educated on law, but I'm pretty sure that most cases won't need physics, But that's kind of my point. You're not gonna be using everything, but the thing is you should think of school as an offer. School, they offer you so many subjects, so many lessons, so many topics, and the reason why it's so much, at least in my opinion, I think that they're trying to show you something that you might be interested in. They'll teach you how to do it So maybe perhaps that, they could say there's a subject, there's physics, and you really you found the subject interesting. If it's like the objects in motion, whatever, maybe you really like that, and you're thinking, maybe that is something I can pursue in the future. Maybe I can be a physicist. And in my opinion, that's what I think school is for. Uh, if you want to think that a lot of the other subjects that you are not interested in is just a waste of your time, then I guess you could just think that way. I have no control over what you think. And in my opinion, I have to say I kind of feel the same way. I don't think that I don't like all the subjects. I don't like all the topics that are being taught to me. But I at least try to listen and try to get through it, just as I might need it in the future. And also, I want to kind of maintain my good academic uh, point where I'm at right now. I am excelling decently in school. Not like over excelling. Like I'm not top one, top two, whatever. I don't even want to put myself to in that position. But I just want to be able to have good grades, and the perspective, my perspective, the way I changed it, it definitely did help me out, you know. But I have to admit, and I think a lot of students experience this, is that they get drained a lot, and I got drained so much. So honestly, in the past about 2 or 3 months or so, actually around 2 months, yeah, I have been slacking off so much because I had no motivation. I was extremely tired, and I just didn't want to do things. It wasn't nice for me. But recently I'm dialing back in. I've changed my perspective. I have a motivation now. So yeah, but I do have to admit, like right now, I seem so enthusiastic and so ready to do academic work, and that's because I have to admit I have a motivation. My parents and I made a deal in the end of the school year. If I get a a good grade, if I get into the honor students, then they will be providing me something that I really want. So I've got that motivation right now, and I know that not everyone has that privilege, the privilege that I have. But if you're able to find your own motivation, your own purpose, then that's gonna be it's gonna be good for you. You're not gonna uh, just be mindlessly doing work, just trying to get grades, and you kind of think to yourself, oh, why am I doing this? But yeah, it varies from person to person. What I said, I'm gonna repeat what I said a while ago. What I said might not apply to you, or you might not feel the same way. But hey, I'm glad you listened. At least I might have changed your perspective on something. So now, third, you're in personal development. In relationships, you've got social, personal, and intrapersonal. Now, with social, this is how I'm going to differentiate it. With social, that's with people that you're not very familiar with. Let's say you're in school, your social life is like saying hi to people, blah blah blah. With your personal life, that's where you are closer to the person, where your friends, your best friends, your friends that you trust your life with, your friends that you tell your secrets, bad or good, your friends that are great. And also you've got an intrapersonal relationship, and if you don't know what an intrapersonal relationship is, it's just a relationship with yourself. And arguably, out of all of them, it has to kind of be balanced out. If you prioritize your friends too much, your social life too much, you might leave yourself out of it, which is, in my opinion, it's no good. If you don't talk to yourself, if you don't put yourself into the point, or if you don't put yourself in a situation where you really need to develop yourself through just talking to yourself, admitting things to yourself, or telling yourself something you don't really want to hear. It's like something that you've been blocking, and you come to this point where, hey, my name is Justin. So, hey, Justin, you've been avoiding this for so long, so it's time to face it. Something like that. And in my opinion, that is one of the best things a person can do for themselves, because it puts them in a position where they have to face the problem. If you don't face the problem, if you keep running away from it, the problem will always catch up to you, either today, tomorrow, 10 years time, 20 years time. It's always going to catch up to it. So you have to deal with it, and it's not easy. It's never going to be easy, you know. You're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to fight the problem, no matter how bad the problem is, no matter how stressful it is, or no matter how long it would take. If you truly want to develop yourself, and if you truly want to be the person who you strive to be, you have to accept the problems and accept the consequences of some of your actions and fight the hardship of it. Because through hardship do we thrive. If we don't have any hardship, then we're nothing really. So yeah, if you're able to talk to yourself like that, having a good personal relationship with your friends is amazing for developing your own self. Let's say you have great friends, you have friends that are wise, you have friends that are willing to listen to the dark things and the bad things you've done without judging you. Is great. If they're able to tell you, hey, what you've done, it's not great, but I'm not going to make fun of you, or I'm not going to degrade you because of it, but I will tell you what you should do and what you need to do to in order to improve yourself, and or perhaps help apologize to these other people or apologize to yourself. So it's not easy having great friends, and it's hard to trust, and I understand that. I've only got a couple of people in my life that I truly trust, and that's because I've spent a lot of time, listening to my own words, listening to their words. They listen to my words, I listen to their words. So it takes a long time, I would say, to truly trust someone else, and especially to truly trust yourself. It's hard, and I have to admit, I never really grew up to be at first, I was never a very confident person. I was actually quite insecure. When I started posting on TikTok, which you guys remember, 2022, you guys could even see on my YouTube, that I've got a video from 2022 or 2023, just those early days. I was quite insecure then. I didn't trust myself too much. But now, recently, I've been able to trust myself more. For example, I've been able to trust myself more in solving mathematics. And it might not be a big thing for you guys, but for me, it's a big thing, because I was never confident in solving mathematics. It has always been my worst subject. But now I'm like, wow, maths is not my worst subject. And I'm able to solve the problems in the exams and the tests, the book work that the teacher makes us do. So I've got trust in myself because I've put the time to try. If you try, you will improve your own self. You'll improve everything about yourself. So yeah, that sums up the first kind of three: hobbies, academics, and relationships. Now, the next thing is deep thinking. I have a list here. First of all is, you guys aren't gonna see it, but yeah. First of all is balance, which we just previously discussed, and deep thinking. And then next is going to be physicality, or physical, whatever. So with deep thinking, now, as I said a while ago, like intrapersonal thoughts, or talking to yourself. Now that's very important, and I'm not gonna go over that again. I just said it. Now, there are two types of thinking that I've kind of conjured up after a while. It's objective thinking and subjective thinking. Now, what's the difference? Now, with objective thinking, these are my words, okay? I'm not trying to the stuff I'm gonna tell is not from a book. It's not from someone else telling me. It's just from just me. After a while of just thinking, I'm just gonna boom. With objective thinking, I think that with objective thinking, it's when you think about a situation, when you try to handle a situation, and you think about the situation, but you do not let your feelings get involved. Now, it's you guys probably know this, but if you don't know, I'll say, excuse me. If you allow your feelings to get control of you or take control of you in a situation, you risk making a very rash decision, a very irresponsible decision. Let's say you're angry and you're angry at someone, and instead of like thinking or instead of trying to calm yourself down, control yourself, you decide like your feelings get a hold of you and you said, oh, I'm gonna do something to this guy, instead of thinking to yourself, despite being so angry, I want to punch this guy, but it's not gonna help with anything if you do that. Violence, Vinland Saga, right there, Vinland Saga. A true warrior needs no sword. That's from Thor's, the Troll of Yom. I really like Vinland Saga. Anyhow, yeah, with objective thinking, it takes a while, I would say, to develop, because you need to be able to accept certain things. You need to be able to accept hardship and also the very harsh realities, which I wouldn't say I've completely been able to do so. I'm still a young person, so I've still so much to go through in order to really say that everything I'm saying is something I could always do. Yeah, with objective thinking, it's about control. It's about accepting the hardship, and about talking to yourself in a way that you are not influenced by your negative emotions or happy emotions. If you do that, you risk making a bad decision. You risk making a decision where you didn't really want to do it. Let's say you're super happy and you tell your friend you're super excited. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay for this food for you, and the food was like expensive, and then you paid for it, and then you realize, maybe I shouldn't have paid it. Yeah, I made my friend happy, but I've got no money in my wallet now. And despite, yeah, I did help out my friend, that was my money for the week. So now how am I gonna do things? It's just things like that. You know, the it's important to have control and to be responsible, and that's kind of like the gist of objective thinking. It's about being responsible with your emotions, regulating. That's kind of a, I don't know if I should say like regulate your emotions. That's kind of, I'm not really sure about it. So yeah, anyhow, that's kind of, to summarize objective thinking, it's control, responsibility, and being able to handle a situation where you look at it from an objective view, from what you should do, what you need to do, not because you feel like doing it, not because you don't want to do it, because you're scared. You with objective thinking, you think about it because you know that, oh yes, this is something I need to do, something I need to accomplish. If there's a situation in which I am very much heavily influenced by my emotions, I do not make a decision first. I take a couple days off, maybe a couple hours off, actually depends on the situation, but I take some time off to think. I'm angry at first. I want to do something bad, but, oh crap, I've got a cold, yucky. Anyways, but it's not responsible. It's no good if I try to hurt somebody because I'm angry. I'm gonna take some time off. I'm gonna cool down. All right, I'm gonna cool down and I'm gonna think, what's the most responsible decision I can make? What's the best thing I can do for myself, for other people? And that, to me, that's objective thinking. Hopefully that helped you out. Now, subjective thinking, it's opinionated, and it might not stray away too much from objective thinking, but in my opinion, subjective thinking, wait, I'm just gonna have to search up subjective thinking, just to make sure I've got the definition right. Based or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. There you go. So subjective thinking, again, personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. Now, in my opinion, there's like, when you do something, it's not bad if you have your feelings attached to that decision. It is actually something a lot of people do because, well, that's how we are. That's human. Humans have developed their mind so much to where they can feel such things, and they're able to express it so much. And with subjective thinking or subjective actions, you do things because you're happy doing it. You do things because you feel amazing doing it. You just do it because it's your taste, It's like quite literally the textbook definition of subjective. So it might not just be subjective thinking, but also subjective actions. So yeah, I'm not sure if that made a lot of sense to you guys, but yeah, that's essentially the gist of subjective thinking. Is you're doing something based on your feelings. And as I said, with subjective thinking, or actually no, not as I said, but with subjective thinking, there needs to be objective thinking. There needs to be an objective decision made. You have to essentially balance out the objective part of the situation and the subjective part of the situation. The thing that you need to do and the thing that you include that you want to do, that's responsible. So yeah, I think that's really great, and I'm happy that I'm able to convey my thoughts to you guys, and I'm hoping that I'm really helping you guys out. So now let's move on to probably the part where you guys might enjoy the most. But I hope that the first two factors, balance slash personal development and deep thinking. Well, the thing is, everything that I'm talking about is personal development. But yeah, first one is like balance, and the second is deep thinking. Now, third. The third important factor, or factor of advice for me to give to you guys, which is also the last one for now, I might make more videos like this, would be physicality. I mentioned this a while ago. Physicality, or just physical stuff, your body. Now, you guys might have heard the quote that goes along the lines of your body is shows your mind, or whatever, something like that. Now, does it always apply? Probably not all the time, but I like to think that way. If my mind is, if I'm lazy, my emotions, my mind is lazy, then my body will be lazy. It'll feel lazy. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna emphasize that I'm not sure if this is true or not. But apparently, if you say good things, your body releases like happy hormones and good hormones that make your body feel good. And if you do the opposite, then the opposite happens. I'm not sure if that's true. It's just an Instagram reel, but if it's true or not, it doesn't matter to me, because I always feel good when I say something good to myself. So anyhow, yeah, physicality. Now, I've put on three factors, three or maybe three sub factors of physicality: sports, hygiene, nutrition. I'm gonna start off with sports. With sports, do whatever you want, do whatever makes you feel happy, do whatever you can. I understand that with a lot of sports, it's expensive, and I see some of these people in school. They're great at their sport, but it's also extremely expensive. So do what you can do what you enjoy doing. Any type of sport would benefit you in many ways. And don't think that like, for example, like a bodybuilder, they get so much hate from fighters, because these fighters say, you're so big, but I can beat you up. To me, don't listen to them. It doesn't matter what they say. If your objective is not to fight someone and just to lift heavy weights and get stronger and look better, then people trying to beat you up because of those factors. That's in my opinion. Hopefully, I don't offend anyone, but that's stupid. All right. If you're gonna do a sport, do it because you enjoy it. Do it because you love it. Do it because it's your passion, and do it because you're good at it. And I understand that not all people want to do the sport that they're doing, and they're in a way, or they are essentially being forced to do it. Now, with that, it's hard to tackle that situation, because everybody's lives are different. And I don't really know what to say there, so I'm not gonna speak on it. But I do want to say this for those athletes who are being made to do this sport that they don't want to. I hope you find a time, or I hope a time comes to you that you're able to do the things you want to do. And I hope that I understand with a lot of athletes that they have to do so much work, not just in their sport but in their school, so it's very, very hard for them. And I want to with you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are amazing. It's really hard to balance those things out. Just keep on working hard, I think that in the end, despite it being really hard now, I think that in the end you'll get a reward that you might not think that you'd be getting, but you get something that will benefit you so much, you know. And that'll vary from person to person. But yeah, for those athletes, I wish you the best. You know, do your best. You know, try to be positive. I know it's very hard, but you know, try to be positive. You know. So yeah, with sports, to summarize the uh, uh, sports part of physicality, do something you enjoy, do something that is beneficial, and do something that will get you up, that will force you to be disciplined, you know, to help you grow. So now, second factor, hygiene. Now with hygiene, um, it's it's something very basic, you know. You have to take a shower once, twice a day, wash your hair, use body wash. Maybe if you're very hairy, it's subjective. I don't like to comment on people's body hair, you know. If you wanna, you know, shave, then shave. If you don't wanna shave, then hey, that's up to you. You know, I'm not gonna comment on that, you know. But yeah, just as long as you take care of yourselves. Here with hygiene, take a shower once or twice a day, every day. Uh, use, you know, clean your hair, clean your body with good soap. Put on deodorant. You can uh, put on perfume. And the thing is, I don't I know that with hygiene and stuff, the really good products, the products that are really healthy for your body, is expensive. And I understand that because you know, as you guys can see, I've got acne on me, and I've tried to, you know, try to treat my acne, and the thing is, it's not very easy with, you know, because it's very expensive. So now I told myself, well, it's expensive, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to clear my acne. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna work with what I can. I'm gonna buy the things that are in budget. So you know, I'm not gonna be spending too much trying to, you know, treat my face and whatnot. But it's definitely, as I said, as I keep on saying, reiterating, it's very different for each person. So they might prioritize something over something else. You know, something I'm saying over something else. You know, it's subjective. It's very subjective. So yeah, as long as you're getting those factors down, hygiene, uh, with your hygiene, taking showers. Oh yeah, with try, try to be polite, man. I would say when you eat, wash your hands. Try not to get so much food on your face, because you know, I'm a person who likes to do things because he likes to do them, or because I like to do them. But it's good to be polite. You know, you don't want to be outside eating and you're that's not very polite. You know, it's very bothersome to other people. You know, eat comfortably, but also eat politely. You know, try not to be a bothersome person. You know, yeah, that's my kind of my one of my, like, that's my advice, that you know, is for, you know, you doing it for other people. You know, be polite. It also kind of shows, you know, the type of person you are. I like to think that, anyways. You know, if you're you're a polite person, then you know, you're probably a good person. But hey, everyone's different. You know, you might have a polite person, but they're like very bad on the inside and whatnot. But yeah, just try to be polite. You know, that's another factor that I actually forgot to mention in the other thingies. But yeah, be polite. Now nutrition. Now nutrition. I will say this. Nutrition can be expensive. Like proper nutrition can be quite expensive. But when you think of it, 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 it it's not gonna be expensive if you really, you know, try to focus on it. You know, it's not, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. You really should be chasing good nutrition. And I think a lot of people, because of social media, they think that, oh yeah, this is good, this is bad, blah blah blah. The thing is, eat good food. Eat good food. Don't always try to eat foods that come from packets, that come from plastic bags. Eat food that you make, that you know what are in it. Like, let's say, it's very boring, it can be very boring for some people. Chicken, rice, broccoli. It's very boring. I've tried it, it's quite boring. But at least it's good. At least it's good. You're sacrificing the taste, which actually you don't always need to sacrifice the taste for the nutrition. You can, if you learn how to cook, like I used to just boil chicken with rice, add a bit of mayonnaise, add a bit of ketchup. I'd eat that. I was like, oh, this is great, but it's boring. But then my mom said, son, I'll cook you some chicken breast tomorrow. But I'll just add like some cream, some carbonara sauce, whatever. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So you just learn how to cook. Nutrition doesn't need to be boring. And if you really invest your time and money into nutrition, it's going to help you out so much. And I have a friend, he used to be fat. He used to have fatty liver, and he used to be very unhealthy. And I'm pretty sure he had a heart problem. And now he went on a cut because he joined a bodybuilding show. And like one day he told me, hey guys, I'm gonna be inactive for a while because my father and I were gonna be going to a laboratory. We're gonna get our body checked out. And then he told me after a while, hey, my fatty liver is gone. I'm doing great. I feel amazing. And I was like, I was so proud of the guy because the fatty liver was such a bad thing for him back then. So seeing that he invested so much time in working out and in prioritizing good food, he's now free from the shackles of fatty liver and being unhealthy. I consider him as a very healthy person now. He's all cut up. He's got abs. He's got his shoulders popping out, his chest popping out. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, with nutrition, yes, it can, like, proper good nutrition can be a bit expensive, but if you change your perspective, you tell yourself that proper nutrition is good. Proper nutrition is what you need. Proper nutrition is a basic necessity to life. Then go for it. And here, cheat days are okay. All right. I mean, yeah, it's best to be consistent, but it doesn't mean that let's say you're in your diet 7 days out of a week, and you have one cheat day on a Friday. You eat 2 boxes of pizza, and you drink a liter of Coke. Is that healthy? Well, 2 boxes of pizza and a liter of soda. It's not healthy. But the thing is, I'd like to think that one cheat day compared to 6 very consistent days where you eat proper nutrition, I don't think that one cheat day is gonna affect you too badly. You're not gonna regain all the fat that you lost. You're not gonna get fat. It's just a reward to yourself, because I understand that I have not actually been through like a proper weight loss journey. I came from being skinny. Yeah, it can be very hard. I can see that being very hard, but you have to put your time, you have to put your effort into these things if you truly want to improve your body. So yeah, that sums it up for physicality and nutrition. So yeah, anyways, summarize. Sorry, forgot to summarize nutrition. Invest money, your time, and invest your money and time into good nutrition, good food, proper food, not always packeted. And yeah, that's all it's about, because good nutrition, it's important. Your body lives off of food, off of proper stuff, and if you take that away and provide it with suboptimal food and nutrition, then how is your body gonna develop and work properly? So yeah, that about summarizes this kind of advice from a 16-year-old video. And I've reiterated this many times throughout the video. Not everything I said will apply to everyone's lives. We all live different lives. It's gonna be different for every single person. It's never gonna be perfect as well. There are gonna be days where you're not gonna be on focus, or there are gonna be days that you really have no choice but to skip something. Like, let's say a workout, you have no choice but to skip the workout. That's normal. So yeah, I hope I did help you guys out. If I didn't, then I'm grateful that you guys listened, at least. So if I was even able to change a small aspect of how you think about things, or how you deal with things, I'm very happy that I was of help. So yeah, anyhow, I'd like to make more videos like this. It helps me bring out my own thoughts, and it really helps me think and help people, because I not to be corny, okay, but I enjoy, giving out advice to people. I like to talk to myself, and I have a great relationship with my dad, and he gives me advice that I really take to heart, and I really think about, and I want to be able to help out other people, that may not have had may not have as good of a guidance as I do. So maybe you can look at me as a, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but maybe I can be like your online older brother, or your online good friend. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys were able to take something from this, even if it was just very little. So yeah, as I said, I'll be posting more stuff like this, and I'm gonna try to get back into posting more gym stuff, because the past 2 weeks I haven't actually posted a gym video. That's because I've been really busy. We just finished exams yesterday, and oof, hell week. I had like 5 hours of sleep for the past 6 days, and that's very unhealthy. So I'm on recovery, and we're gonna be having a Christmas break very soon, and which I'm very, oh my gosh, I'm very excited for that actually. I really want to post more videos. I want to maybe post 2-3 videos a week. I'll try to see what I can do. So yeah, like and subscribe, follow my socials. TikTok, Instagram's gonna be linked in bio. I post on my TikTok, I post quite typical gym content with the posing and the lifting, but I also post advice stuff. And with my Instagram, you're gonna see it's a bit more artistic. That's where my Instagram is a bit more serious. That's where I want to show people my more artistic side, and I guess you could say the maybe not darker side, but a more personal side to me that I've expressed in perhaps posing or editing or whatnot. So yeah, thank you. Goodbye. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when you're watching this. So yeah, goodbye.